Greetings, mortals. My name is Krail Shufflegonothorpia Sharp, but today you can call me the Plague Doctor, because we're playing Ruinarch. We're not just playing Ruinarch, oh no. We're going to be doing something a little... more specific. Now, as I set this up, I'm going to say that I was planning to wait to play Ruinarch again wait until the new update with player progression was out, but they put out a update on the 12th saying that they were going to probably have it out at the end of the month. So I've decided that I'm going to try and see if I can get one last stream in before that update starts, because at that point we'll be learning the game from scratch effectively, because there'll be a lot of new changes, additions, that will very much change how the game is played. In the meantime, I'm just setting up a simple little game. 2 regions, 2 factions, each controlling a village. And this is our world that we'll be playing in. As you can see, both villages are on the 4 side of the map. So I'm going to start over here in the desert, where it'll be very difficult to find me. And we're going to be playing as the Lich. Got a bunch of spells, got afflictions, minions, we have some structures, we have some miscellaneous stuff. But the most important thing we have here is the biolab, because today, as you may have been able to guess from the stream title, we're going to be starting a nice little plague here. So first, I'm going to set up buildings, set up the biolab, obviously wired for the plague. Kennel, just because, in case we need a little more security, we can get some monsters, put them in here, and then make magic copies of them to send out to do my bidding. Prison, just in case we want to stuff people in there. And the Defiler, which will allow me to brainwash people into cultists if I wish. Probably not going to be using it, but the only building we really needed was the biolab anyway. Now, I'm going to take a quick look around the map. We appear to have like a harpy here. And I like harpies, so I'm going to just summon this little skeleton marauder here, Dremerin. I'm going to see if he can acquire that harpy for me. Searching around the rest of the map, we have a little mage tower here, caves, we have some ruins with more harpies, got some pigs here. We have, where are these, sheep? Chickens here next to this elven village. And it looks like we actually do have sheep up here. And then, let's see, what are these? We got a bunch of wind nymphs over here in this mage tower. And then if we go up, we'll find some slimes, or I think sludges as they're called in this game, over in this cave. We have some ghosts over here next to this human town. And then a couple spiders in this cave here. And that about covers it. This map isn't too big, but we don't need it to be very big. And as you can see, we have 10 villagers to get rid of. And we're going to, before we actually let time move as normal, we're going to go into the biolab. And as you can see, we have 5 categories. We have transmission, the ways that the plague can spread. Lifespan, how long the plague lasts on certain beings and objects. Fatality, ways that the plague can cause deaths. Symptoms. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you know what diseases are, you'll understand what these are. And then on death, which is perhaps the most fun one. It's what happens when someone who is afflicted by the plague dies. And you have 4 options. 1. Explosion. Triggers a fire blast around the corpse when it dies. Zombie. People who die become zombies. Mana generator. When someone dies, they produce mana orbs. And then finally, haunted spirits. Now, I'm not going to pick one of these immediately. because right now we want to focus on the... Well, let me first explain. As you notice, we have the plague points, which are how we upgrade our plague. Now, apart from the 35 that you're given at the beginning, there are two ways to gain more plague points. One is when someone catches the plague, that gives you points. And then there are certain, if we go back to the upgrade, under symptoms, there are certain things like sneezing, which you can see produces plague points whenever it's triggered. So if I activate sneezing as a symptom of the plague, anytime someone sneezes while afflicted with the plague, I will get points. So the first order of business is to try and spread out the disease as much as possible, while also getting some of these symptoms that will get me more points. So to start with, I'm going to start with sneezing, which will use up all of our plague points. But no need to worry, because if we go over to Saoris over here, no, yes. We can go to Afflict. Alright, well, I was going to say, and then we can directly give them the plague, but this is a robust villager, which means that they're immune to my plague. Which means that they will have to be dealt with later in another method. Now, you, however, Kaloth, who actually is the, let's see, settlement ruler of Arliso, and the faction leader of Karamba, which is the Elven Kingdom, I will spread the plague to them, and as you can see, we have gained 5 plague points right off the bat. And if you zoom in here, you'll see that there's a little black mist floating around them to indicate that they are being afflicted by it. And from here on out, it's going to be a little slow because, well, it takes time. Unfortunately, the chances of the plague spreading at this point is not particularly high, because the only option for that, if we come back over to the biolab and go to upgrade, you can see that we have acquired the harpy. We have 4 options, of which we can choose up to 3. And we start with low consumption rate, so food sources that have been affected by the plague can be consumed and end up giving points. There's also airborne, which, you know, is caused by airborne transmission like talking or sneezing. Direct contact, which means that if a villager interacts with an object outside of combat, it may spread to the object or the person. And then combat rate, which is when a plague villager or anything that is affected by the plague attacks someone else, it may transfer to the target. As you can see, we've already gained another plague point, presumably because our friend, what was your name again? Calathi. Alright, we're gonna go with Calathi. Most likely sneezed. Now, as we approach nighttime, we can perhaps demonstrate soon another method by which we can cause our little plague to grow. And that is via the plague rat, which will consume crops and other sources of food. So if we place it in the middle of town while everyone's asleep, it'll go over to this table, munch on the food there. Unfortunately, it does not look like it was able to spread the plague, so as you can see, this is a very slow method to start up. But as we get more plague points and we're able to invest more in methods of transmission and symptoms to help increase how many plague points we get, we can start upgrading the plague further to further upgrade how infectious it is. And at that point, we'll be able to quickly get to the point where we can start the real fun. Meanwhile, we're going to watch this elegant harpy just flying through the skies, completely intent on taking something. Something apparently being that sludge. I did not know that harpies eat noxious slime, but then again, I'm not really an expert on harpies, so what do I know? Speaking of which, I'm just going to look over at Fist while we wait for for night to turn again. And harpies have the abductor behavior, so that simply means that, similar to the harpy that we just saw, all we have to, if we were to create our own harpy and then set it up in one of these caves or something, it would go out and attempt to attack villagers to bring back to wherever we designate as its home, and then consume them. But I'm just keeping them there because I like the harpy. In the meantime, it is night again. Unfortunately, I will have to wait a little longer before I can get another plagued rat. I believe they regenerate every 24 hours. I should probably verify to see if it's... Yeah, check the... I'm not sure where to check the figure out where the spawning rate is. But we're just going to leave this open on the left, so that once we do get another plague rat that we can send in, I will be fully aware of it. Actually, in the meantime, I'm going to go see if we can... Oh, there we go. Now we have another plague rat. So I'll have to wait until night before I can actually make use of that. In the meantime, we have a sledge here, so I'm just going to have our skeleton Dramarin go and grab that while we wait. And as you can see, Kaloth is still infected, and we are now up to 9 points. Once we're up to 10, I will be able to add air-based transmission as a method of transmission, and hopefully that will help Kaloth start spreading it, especially since she is already being afflicted by violent sneezing. What do we have here? Is this a little forge? Oh, it's a hunter's lodge. Interesting. I wonder if this is how they acquired more chickens. Looks like someone's posted a quest to get rid of this mage tower, which you'll notice doesn't really have stone floor anymore. That's what happens when it's occupied by wind nymphs. In the meantime, everyone is asleep. So I will drop another plague rat down. The previous one appears to have been killed at some point, though I'm not sure where that happened. We have a harpy in here that was killed by these ghosts as it went in. The ghosts have ice magic, as you can tell by the fact that the harpy was frozen. And now a new day dawns, and as you can see here, the rat, when it nibbled on these little vegetables over here, ended up spreading them to that. So if people take food from here and attempt to eat it, there is a good chance that they will end up, well, a low chance technically, that they will end up catching the plague. And over here we see we have our little rat still just wandering around waiting until it becomes night again to have another meal. And it looks like our friend Alarthania is going to be dropping off some food to eat. They are not robust, so if they do this, there is a chance that they will end up... well, Ectholus is down for the count, and Colothi appears to have gotten over the plague, but that's fine, because I can just give it back to her again. Which immediately actually gives me more plague points. So now we will, as time moves on, come back here, upgrade, and then now we can give it a low airborne rate. So now it is possible that through talking, singing, and sneezing, the disease may proliferate. And you will start to notice that these tables are being affected by the plague's contamination due to people taking vegetables and applying it to the table. In truth, it's not actually the table itself that's strictly affected by it, more so the food that was on it. Fortunately, time has passed enough that it appears that the plague has moved off from the food. So unfortunately, that does sort of set us back a bit, but with the airborne rate now a factor, hopefully Colothi will sneeze a little more. Get me a couple more points, and then I'll be able to see if we can add a little more fun here. Because one thing that will really help is if we can get that direct contact effect, which unfortunately requires 20. But then every time that someone that is played interacts with an object, they may be able to spread it to that object, and that will help, especially with spreading it from person to thing, and then from thing perhaps to person. The other thing, sorry, I keep going back and forth because I want to just check on the progress over there. Another thing that we can do is increase the lifespan, which affects how long the plague lasts on objects and people. So if we add, say, to this, then objects, instead of having the plague last only 24 hours, will last 72, which will increase the chances, literally, will increase the number of chances that things will be able to spread. Fortunately, I was hoping that Kalathi would sneeze there, but it's fine. I'll just send in another rat. Fortunately, I seem to have an infinite supply of these. Unfortunately, it did not spread the plague and ended up being chased away by one of these villagers who was apparently still awake for some reason. Even though it was 3 in the morning, which seems like a somewhat unusual time for such a thing. Now, villagers remaining was 13 and has now gone down to 12. So I'm going to guess that someone has... looks like Ace was killed by a ghost. So, not a victim of the plague, but I'm a lich, so I will not, I will take no issue with getting a free minion. And they've moved this rat over here. Then, apparently we have they've gone after the spider that they have, apparently imprisoned. They made it a prisoner. Or not. Just unconscious, apparently. Oh, no, now it's dead. No, they've killed it now. Oh, and we're up to 10 on plague points. So, for the moment, I'm going to go back over here. And going to increase the lifespan of objects to 48 hours. And I'm just going to also check 15 seconds, which we're in fast forward, so we'll be less than that in practice. And inflict someone new with the plague, get another 5 points, and hopefully we'll have them start spreading to other things. I'm really hoping is that we get a bunch more sneezing, honestly. The more they sneeze, the sooner I can get to direct combat rate. Also, Nigel here went berserk while fighting the spiders, apparently. Poor Nigel. And then Kalathi was poisoned while out. Hopefully they don't die because I haven't set an on-death thing, so if they die while plagued, it won't actually do anything. Let's see. Don't have another... Oh, I see. The rat is... I see. It's still alive somehow. They didn't kill it, they captured it. Which is an odd choice, but I'll be honest. If they end up somehow recruiting the rat, that may actually work out better for me. Because then it'll be able to eat from their food stores without having any negative effects from it. That's only good news for me. I'm just gonna come over here. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I can manually end plague someone, as it were. Up to 16 though, so soon I'll be able to get that direct combat rate, 17 now. And then once we get the direct contact, that should heavily improve the rate of transmission, and then I'll really start being able to get the points in, hopefully. I may also move to the human village, because I noticed there's at least a couple people here who cannot be affected by the plague, and that severely dampens the rate of its spread. So perhaps we can get one of these guys to be plagued, get the spread, get the direct contact rate. Wow, there's a lot of mushrooms in here. You know, you have to be careful when you're out and about, because you never know which mushrooms are going to actually be dangerous. Oh, I can't raise that one. Well, it's a ghost, so I suppose that makes sense. Kalathi appears to be well, but Kalathi's food is still affected by the plague, so there is a chance that they'll catch it again. And if not, Burndot is still affected, so may still get the contact rate up. Kalathi 8. Unfortunately didn't catch it. Now, Burndot, if you could... Yep, thank you. That's another sneeze. Although at this point, I'm guessing that if I get it to that point, it's... Yeah. So I can just do this. And now we're up to 23. So now we can go back here. Contact rate up. And now we have our third and final method of spreading things around. Of course, Maggie did just go to sleep, so we're going to have to wait a bit for actual results. But in the meantime, everyone here appears to be asleep. So I'm just going to have you... Why are you eating at the table that's already... I don't know what I was expecting from a rat. Intelligence? I guess rats are comparatively intelligent, but they're not really that intelligent. Also, this sludge just exploded when it was killed. Anyway, we have Maggie over here. Unknowingly a pawn of our devious scheme. Already gained 3 points since I bought that upgrade. And Ferndot has spread the plague to their own table, and we're suddenly up to 14. I believe that that means that someone over here has caught a case of the plague. I don't know where Maggie is, though, to verify that. Maggie's over here. Bravely fighting these slimes. Hopefully not going to die because of it. This sledge is just in the wall, so they're just trying to attack it, but not really getting many results from it. Just gonna do that. They're so focused on what they got going on over here that... Oh, they didn't get poisoned by that? That's impressive, actually. Anyway, as you can see, we're suddenly already up to 21 points, so... Already suddenly gaining way more progress. And with that, I'm going to say... Let's see. Let's see, which ones give more plague points? Mostly the ones that are very much noticeable, but... So I'm going to actually say that instead of that, I'm going to have... Let's see. Let's increase how long the plague stays on humans. Is now up to 144 hours. And you guys are still just here. I'm gonna go for the slime. Let's see if I can't assist in this process. There we go. I have now freed them from their torment. Slime is dead, huzzah. And now they will make their way back home, because that cave has successfully been exterminated with no outside help whatsoever. and another rat died, apparently. It's fine, though. They're expendable. That's what they're here for. Alerthania apparently caught the plague. Excellent. Got a couple more points there. I'm going to see if... Alright, we have another plague rat, so I'm going to wait until night. Drop this little guy actually over in the human town to help spread it over here. In the meantime, though, I'm going to drop back over here, upgrade. I'm going to increase... Let's see... I guess the only really option we can do is increase the consumption rate, but that helps. Because I'm going to release another rat into the town. And it is now spread it onto this table. So hopefully Karen here isn't worried about catching an unwanted disease. And unfortunately it's an... Oh, wait. Oh, another rat has been captured. I'm surprised that they've been capturing rats, you know, people don't usually do that. As you can see over here, actually, as a effect of the direct contact, now beds are starting to carry the plague, which admittedly doesn't make the most sense, but am I going to complain about it? No. You shouldn't either. This is only good news for us. Speaking of good news, it's time to spread it. I'm going to spread it over here because, again, humans up here, there are more humans up here than there are elves down there. Up to 10 again. Now we have a desk over here that's also infected. Apparently, not the cleanest conditions. I wonder what's causing that. I'm just gonna open this, see if there's anything else I can do. Could increase the lifespan so that monsters or the undead could carry the plague, but for what we're doing, I don't think it's going to have much of an effect. So I'm just gonna wait until... what should I... Looks like we got more people to play with. Let's see. Get to 20, we can start getting some more things, but I think I'll wait for 25 so we can get vomiting. And that should really help get more plague points. Although actually, what we probably should do is increase transmission rate. So I'll wait until we're at 30, get airborne, then we can focus on this. And then I will start allocating points towards the on-death effect. And then soon we'll be able to start with the real fun. And so there was something I could do with you, Brainway. Let's see, got a while before I can, the amount of time that I can, rather the cooldown for directly and plaguing someone is, quite a bit. Though, of course, we're at accelerated time, times 4 speed, so normally it would be, I think, 5 minutes? Actually, let's see. Well, I guess it's more like 4 minutes, but heavily reduced, so it's more like a minute, not counting, of course, the times that I pause. And we're almost at 30 already, which is, as you can see, really the rate, see we already got another 5, the rate that you can see that this is spreading is a good measure of how effective the plague has started to become. So now we can come back over here. I'm going to do this, increase the airborne rate, and with that, that will help further the spread even more. And as you can see on this screen, you can see all those little black willows of mist. Some on plants, some on tables, some on desks, a lot of them on people. And that is going the longest way to assisting. I wonder if Karen will be able to deal with this. She seems to have a harpy on her tail. But apparently the harpy has to like stay still to actually like it needs Karen to stay still to actually do anything. But unfortunately, it has now been captured. Now let's see. I'm gonna try and actually see if I can. I want to try and play a little game there while we continue focusing over here. Garrett is eating at the table, but unfortunately, he is one of the robust ones, so he actually cannot be affected by the plague. I'll have to eventually find another method of doing so. Looks like the elf village, surprisingly, has mostly recovered from the plague, but nothing that reintroducing it can't solve. Now, the one problem with me having to introduce the plague myself is that it is eating up into my mana. I started with like 100 and we're down to 54. But as you can see, we're starting to generate plague points at a rather quickly. So now I'm going to actually increase the direct contact rate, because the more objects that I can get people to spread this stuff to, the more easily we'll be able to maintain the up on the Yates. Guess Yates gave up on it, but that's fine. Also, the sludge escaped somehow. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, getting distracted. So, still a boring way here. Just sort of trying to chill. Really not contributing anything, but I guess in theory they're expending resources to feed them, but I really would prefer that they're expending those resources eating them themselves when they've caught down a case of the plague for my reasons. Karen also, I suspect, is stuck in place. Yeah, she's tired and starving, so I do indeed suspect that may be what is going on with Karen over here. Let's see if I'm gonna just throw in a little bit of magic here. Because if I can get Karen to freeze, maybe someone will notice and be willing to assist in her dilemma. But no, she's not, she doesn't appear to be freezing. Oh well. In the meantime, I'm gonna go just zip over to here. I wanted to, I could actually apply monster scent, so then all of the elves and humans that catch the plague will end up attracting monsters to attack them. That would be funny. However, I'm going to instead wait. Yeah, I've been waiting long enough that we actually now have 2 plague rats, so I'm going to drop them here and here. And we'll see if they can help with the spread a bit. If you could spread it to that table, that'd be lovely. No? Alright, that's fine. I didn't really care. This rat may be about to burn to death. You know what? I'm not amused with you, rat. Now we have cooked rat meat, ready to go, and definitely not filled with plague. Meanwhile, the other rat, I think, escaped somewhere. Got more people coming in. Now there's 21 villagers, but plague points have gone up to 46 while I wasn't looking. You'll notice that I'm not going to, especially as things advance more, probably going to start missing out on things. So now, add vomiting, another source of plague points. And I'm going to wait a little bit, and you'll see why I don't immediately get that on death effect. But now you can see we're at a point where enough people have caught this plague that is starting to spread rather prodigiously. Let's see, you're robust. You're not though, so I'll give it to you. And I was down to 19, gained 15, not sure from where, but who cares? Plague points are starting to go just straight through the roof. People are here drinking, just having a great time. And in the meantime, we're over 50 plague points. Remember the days when we were stuck at, like, wandering around 10? I remember those days. So now we're going to pick our undeath effect, and we're going to just go to zombie. And then we're going to immediately buy walker zombies. So now, instead of merely being zombies, the dead who have succumbed to the plague will reanimate during the night as zombies, and then during the day will return to rest. These zombies are also faster than the normal zombies. So, if someone should happen to be slain while a host to my friendly little virus, they may find that they are suddenly feeling a lot more nocturnal. To the point where during the day they'll feel rather a bit dead. Also gonna zap this rat. Fortunately, did not manage to cook them up properly, but apparently people have started catching on to the fact that there may in fact be a plague. Although calling it deadly is a little bit rude because I'm pretty sure I haven't even bought any of the fatality options yet. I'm going to wait until we get to 50 points, which should not take very long. We're already at 48. And we're already there. I'm going to buy the final undeath effect. This will cause those who die from the plague to reanimate into various different types of zombies. Which means that they might turn out as normal zombies, but may cause them to turn out as much more dangerous zombies as well. So it is the chance that I'm willing to take. Unfortunately now, because people have known the virus, Maggie over here has decreed that anyone suspected of the disease will be captured and exiled. And if they are exiled, then that makes it a lot harder for me to make sure that they die near the town so that they can, post-death, continue to, in some form or another, assist in my elimination of these villagers. Just waiting again on the plague points. And soon all of our patient scheming will bear fruit. Uh-oh. Maggie seems to have noticed something, perhaps noticing that Aldred was, I don't know, perhaps vomiting. Which, unlike sneezing, is far less subtle and is thus more likely to be noticed. As you can see, Devin seems to have noticed that Vanessa was doing something and is going to report that she's been plagued. So we have no time to waste if we want to make sure that people don't start getting exiled before I can have my fun. So now is the time when we will look at the fatalities. We have 5 options. We have septic shock, which can trigger if someone becomes hungry or starving. Heart attack, which can trigger when someone's energy is lowered and they are tired. Well, when they feel spent or drained. Stroke, which can trigger when they're tired or exhausted. Total organ failure, very brutal anytime that they perform an action. And pneumonia, which can trigger any time that someone is moving. Since I have 50 plague points, I'm going to note that our friend Stroke here affects when people are tired. So I'm going to come down here to Insomnia, and then to Stroke. And then in a bit, when we have the points, I'm also going to add Lethargy, because I suspect that also makes people feel quite tired. And that would be most unfortunate indeed. And Violet's now being chased by a ghost. It's very scary. Then everyone else is banded together to deal with the ghost, except they went too far, so that's not happening anymore. Ghosts also now appear to have switched who they're going after. Karen is no longer affected by the plague. Can't have that. Can't have that. Need to have you affected by the plague if you die right now. For reasons. I'll take that magic from killing that ghost. Karen has now been killed. And as you can see, I don't have the raise dead option. Which is because if they're plagued and are going to rise as a zombie, I can't just raise them as a skeleton. They already are undead, effectively. Now we go down the lethargy. I'm going to add that. And I'm also going to come down here and add to that. And then we also happen to have 2 more plague rats. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to drop one here. Drop one here. I know that people are probably going to wake up and notice the rats, but it's fine. At this point, things are already spreading, at least in the human village. Elven village is a little iffier because there's fewer people. But as you can see, like, we have a bed here that's affected. Got someone wandering around. I don't remember where. And then this rat thinks that is safe now that it's been captured, but it is not. It is now a dead rat. And then Maggie is going to judge Vanessa's crime. And we can already see that they have the vagrants thing, so they have clearly been exiled. And now people are accusing left and right that people are affected by my plague. People are just going around in fear, attacking people in the streets. Pandemonium! Isn't it lovely? Also, because people are upset and having other negative feelings, I get more of these. Now we can see that Karen over here is a wandering zombie. Although for some reason it glitched and it doesn't appear that she is recognizing that she is a zombie. Which is probably why she's berserked. I'm just gonna go over here and just toss her in this house. And we're up to 98 plague points. Things have been going swimmingly. So, I think... Let's see. You know what? Let's add 2 more... Oh, well, okay, we can only choose up to 2, so I'm going to add this. So every time someone takes an action, they might die as well. And then I'm going to also add Poison Cloud, which also produces symptoms. Rather, produces plague points. Very nice. As you can see, already seeing the effects of it, we have this just monstrosity of a zombie running around. My god, look at how burly he is. And then, oh boy. Oh boy, I'm going to guess that someone let out a poison cloud and the poison caught fire there. And then we have Kara, who turned also into one of the big burly zombies, just killed Garrett. He's now going after Jamie. Killed Devin. And look at that, we went down from 22 to 12, just like that. And now, everyone that is being suspected of the plague over here in the human town is going to be killed if they are suspected of the disease, because that's just how bad it's going. And I'll be honest, they're right to be taking such drastic measures. Unfortunately, I've already applied the on-death effect of variety zombies, so if they get killed, it kind of just helps me, if I'm honest. And that did round out. I have 5 options for symptoms. So at this point, I can only upgrade my transmission methods that I picked, or increase the lifespan. Might as well. I'm going to add on to the... I'm going to give monsters and the undead the ability to carry it. Should be useful, especially since this hopefully means that my zombies will be able to start spreading this around. And we have Bridget, who is apparently going after Kara. She may win now. Kara was already weakened, but no. She just got bludgeoned into meat. That is brutal. Oh, does the stream say I'm playing Apex Legends? Let me see. I probably made a mistake on my part then. Let's see if I can just fix that. Yeah, hold on. My bad. There we go. Alright, that should be fixed now. I think something happened. We're down to 10 villagers. As you can see also, we have a bunch of zombies just running around the place. Garrett over here was killed, but unfortunately cannot be afflicted by my plague. However, they can be turned into an undead to help me out. So whether or not they've been afflicted or not, they will help. Car is still wandering around. This village has most certainly seen better days. What's happening over here, by the way? Kaloth is giving off clouds of death. I'm gonna give Elarthania another little dose of plague. Let's see, and then increase the consumption rate because I have the points, why not? Those points just keep coming in, and I invite them to come in as much as they want. Let's see. Beldon was apparently a zombie. Perhaps we'll come back. Elarthania appears to have suffered from a dangerous dose of organ failure. And we got more of these poison clouds just zooming around. We have a zombie that's popped up here, but was killed. Now, just because the zombie gets killed doesn't mean that they might not come back. I have seen zombies return after death, or rather, after they've been put down. So it kind of depends on the zombie, I think. So we still have we have Indrathel over here, who appears to have been subjugated at some point. Right now, I think that the only human villager left is, yep, Whitney. Which means that the other, now 8 villagers, are all in the Elven village. So if I manage to get rid of Whitney, then we will stop having migration at this human village. But for now, I'm going to focus on the elves. Oh, you know what? I also forgot we have Vanessa, who's just sort of wandering around after she was exiled. Which, ironically, ended up being a good thing for her, because that prevented her from being finished off. We still have Kara running around. How are you doing, Kara? Not a lot of health on you. But, let's see, and then Inderthel's over here. Whitney's trying to... Oh, Whitney was trying to bury Chauncey, but Chauncey came back as a zombie. And we have a gas cloud going on. Whitney is now very weak. And is now gone berserk. I'm just gonna sort of speed this along and pick up Kara and drop her right here. Did manage to defeat Kara. Very impressive, Whitney. And Tistana now believes that their plague crisis is over. And Whitney is just letting up poison clouds. So as I delight in people suffering, I'm going to come back over here. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's just make it last even longer. Whitney is not doing very well. She did heal herself, but as you can see, in addition to being affected by the plague, she is now exhausted and starving because she just keeps having to deal with things that she would rather not. She has collapsed at her table. And she's dead. Alright, so now there's only 6 villagers left, and Whitney has also turned into the very thing that she sought to destroy. So, Kara's sacrifice was not in vain. There was still a big macho zombie running around. And speaking of zombies, let's just give you a little dose of plague. Now this is gonna last an outlandish amount of time. There's only 5 villagers left. Nope, make that 4. One elf died trying to deal with another elf, and then we have Gatsbag over here, who I know if I take them, just drop them. Let's see, where should I drop? I'm gonna drop you right here. I'm going to, while doing that, also raise you, because you weren't affected by the plague when you die. And as we watch, what's going to happen here is that when Farindad dies, I thought he was going to explode. That's usually what happens. That's disappointing. Oh well, we only have 3 villagers left. Hopefully we'll have more zombies coming up soon. Let's see, Indonuxin is robust. Let's see, is Lenostian also robust? Yes. Okay, so these two are not able to catch the disease. However, Vanessa can. So because the plague can't finish off these guys, we're going to have to take other methods to finish them off. Because I could try and rely on my zombies to take care of it, but let's be honest, zombies, kind of brainless. Also not really the strongest. So I'm going to take an alternate method with them. In the meantime, we'll wait to give Vanessa another dosage of my demonic gift to mankind and elvenkind. I don't discriminate based on race. And meantime, we're just gonna continue spying on this village because I need to wait until the perfect time. The perfect time being when they go to sleep. Also, I've lost track of one of the elves. Oh, one of the elves is asleep. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Alright. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna try and just try that. And then I'm just gonna keep this up while we wait. And I can summon 3 plagued rats. So why not? That table is now plagued. Not that it really makes a difference. I was really hoping that all 3 rats would attack, but apparently not. And now Vanessa's being attacked by one of the zombies. Does manage to defend herself and unfortunately turned them into meat. Which she ate? No, no, no. She's not a cannibal. She didn't eat it. False alarm. False alarm. Wait. Is that... That is an undead harpy. I don't know how that happened. But on the other hand, that's very cool. And now that I think about it, I should invest in undead harpies. He didn't make a note of that. Undead harpies. Now, Anothian has fallen asleep again, and it's not been kidnapped. Don't know exactly why that's the case. Perhaps I was a little too distracted by other things. But it's fine. This human here, now afflicted by plague, hopefully will end up succumbing to it. And in the meantime, just gonna keep an eye on our 2 elves here. And you know, if that number happens to go down to 2 while I'm looking at the elves, feel free to let me know so I know to take a look at what is going on with Vanessa. Unfortunately, it looks like our first skeleton failed in their duty to abduct Lenostian. Hopefully they will not, however, fail to capture Indanaxen over here. Just gonna put out that order. And just preemptively, I'm also gonna put out that order. And hopefully that succeeds. Because if not, we're going to have to end this with significantly more drastic measures. Also, while I'm at it, let's look at the village center and see. Oh, it's going to be a while before the next migration event. It's going to be a long while. Yeah. Alright, we finally got Yates coming over. And they have succeeded in getting Lenostian. Don't know where my other... Garrett appears to have at some point given up on going after Indanaxen. And Vanessa is still going after that undead harpy. Is not having a good time of it. She woke up very tired this morning for some reason, and it's really slowing down her movements. She also keeps just sneezing and expelling other things from her body, releasing poison clouds everywhere. It's just not a good time. She has found the zombie that she's going to try and cleanse in Holy Flame. And she appears to have now eaten the meat from that. She's caught herself on fire. Hopefully she doesn't suddenly release poison clouds, because while surrounded by fire, you get that. And it would be quite a shame if she were to suddenly die from a big volatile explosion. Yes, would be very sad. Yeah, like that. But more around her is what I was thinking. She's not on fire anymore. On the other hand, Lenostian has been captured. And now she's just sort of languishing in prison because there's only one person who could try to save her, but you know what? She's not going to be saved. Oh, she finally killed that undead harpy, huh? Nicely done. Now she's just walking around. She found some vegetables. Where'd she go? She was just here, wasn't she? The heck? Like, I just saw that she just straight up turned into meat. How does that work? I didn't realize my plague was that bad. Well, anyway, just gonna do that, and then send out for another snatch job here. Doing a good amount of work this zombie is, but not enough to actually finish off Indanaxen. I don't know if I have any other zombies to throw at him. Oh, we have Kawasi over there. Oh, and we have Whitney. How could I forget Whitney? Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that we have Whitney. I think Whitney will be able to finish this off. Alright, and Indanaxen is down, which means that I can now raise Indanaxen, have her head back to her new abode. And now I could wait for you, but I'm gonna just do that so that you get released, and then I'm gonna... Hold on a second. Just do this, and then, yep. These plagued rats here. And I'm going to just drop 3 harpies in this tavern. I'm just gonna have them wander around. And you know, if by chance they decide that they're hungry enough... Oh, what the heck? What happened over here? Oh, well, Didn't get to see the end of it, but we have succeeded in this game. Very well done. And with that, I think that may in fact be our first, not our first successful game on stream, but certainly our first success on stream where I was actually able to do what I was setting out to do and not fail part of the way through because I wasn't paying attention to the threat level. Fortunately, that's the one thing about the plague. Anything that the plague does doesn't count as threat towards me. Only the specific actions I take, like raising people from the dead. So, very easy to go under the radar. Took a while, but we got there in the end. Now, I know that normally I try to stream for at least a couple hours, but I feel like I want to leave it off with that victory. And I actually am feeling a bit tired today. Hopefully I didn't catch my own plague. So, with that, I am going to call today's stream here. I do thank you all for coming. And I hope you have a good day, a good night, a good morning, or a good evening. Not going to assume what time of day it is for you. I will say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Ciao!